And also, we're talking about random acts of kindness. 4 men in London are making the world a better place by simply being kind. I think it's wonderful. Pretty much every Londoner says we should all perform more random acts of kindness. Now there's a group of young men from North London who perform them, which is wonderful. They call themselves the Kindness Offensive, and we can talk to David Goodfellow in a moment from the Kindness Offensive. I just think this is really important because so many people walk around London looking very miserable, don't they?
and to put it mildly,
they don't do good things for other people. And you were joking with David Quo, I hope, saying, you know, you put your money in a bank saving. I said no, go and buy somebody a sandwich who hasn't had a sandwich for a long time, or pass on a cup of coffee. If somebody gives you a coffee, then next week buy somebody else a cup of coffee. Well, hopefully we have David Goodfellow. How apt is his name?
It is a good name.
David Goodfellow from the Kindness Offensive. Are you on the phone now, David?
I am, hello.
Good morning, you kind good fellow.
Hello.
Now tell me all about this, and why did you decide to do it?
We started the Kindness Offensive because we thought the world needed brightening up a bit. And we looked around and we realised there weren't any groups who were having fun with kindness. So we thought we'd start one.
And what sort of things do you do to have fun with kindness?
We've done loads of things. We've been around for about a year now. We started on the 3rd of August last year. The very first thing we did was go out onto Parliament Hill and stop strangers and ask them what we could do for them. Loads of people asked for different things. We gave a blender to a lady to finish her kitchen, arranged a great birthday party for about 8 11-year-old girls to go to the Moscow State Circus with their family.
Wow.
It was really quite good fun, and loads of stuff happened that day. We hoped loads of different people, and we realised that it was great fun, and we had a bit of a knack for it, so things kind of started to develop from there. We ended up giving away 25 tons of food to the refugees that live in London, who are in a really terrible position that they haven't got their official papers to work yet, and because they haven't got their official papers and status in the country, they can't claim any benefits either, so they rely entirely on kindness. So we teamed up with a company called General Mills, who bring us things like Haagen-Dazs and Green Giant, and we gave loads of food away last October. Then at Christmas, which was probably our favourite event so far, we took a great big double-decker bus through London and we gave away 25 tons of hampers, and 35 tons, sorry, of hampers and toys and little gadgets and gizmos and all manner of different things. We gave away 500,000 pancakes on Pancake Day, and we go to schools and do different things like that. And most recently, we teamed up with a savings bank called ING Direct, and we did the Everyday Kindness Awards. And that was kind of inspired by reading the paper. This chap fell down some stairs on the tube and cracked the back of his head. And the CCTV footage captured dozens of people just walking over him and leaving him to it. It was a horrible story. But then at the end of the story, one person, a medical student, jumped in and did offer him some assistance. And that kind of started us thinking about kind of everyday acts of kindness that kind of people do to one another in the street. Things like giving you directions to landmarks or helping you when your shopping bag split. So we kind of set up some scenarios a couple of weekends ago where people needed a little bit of help. They were volunteers with us, so kind of acting the roles of lost tourists and someone with split shopping bags, that kind of thing. And when real, genuine members of the public jumped in and behaved kindly, they suddenly found themselves in the middle of a big celebration. They got a gold medal and champagne and flowers.
Do you know, this is so wonderful. The thing is, we live in such a cynical world, and I think London is quite a cynical place. And do people give you strange looks when you try to do good things? Do they trust you?
Funny you should say, well, people, we dress up in high-vis outfits that have been customized. We wear hard hats with smiley faces on and silly badges on high-vis jackets. So people do a double take. We kind of blend in a little bit in one way because that's kind of the outfit that builders wear and kind of surveyors and stuff. When they look a little closer, they see that we're obviously up to something a little bit fun. But people tend to go through a kind of spectrum of emotion with us. So initially, they're a little bit wary and a little bit kind of shocked because generally we're handing over something for free with no kind of, we don't want you to join our group. No, everyone is
we're not
welcome
used
to
to it,
join
are
if they
we?
want.
We don't not used to being a kindness at all. We expect that people want something from us all the time.
It's such a wonderful thing you do. In America, there's a thing called passing it on, and there was a film about it with Kevin Spacey. But people do it in America, and I know it's happening here more often. Do you think this is all part of what you do? You do something good for someone, and then that person does something good for somebody else. Do you think we can have a snowball effect here?
I really hope so. I think it's actually a necessary part of the human condition for our survival as a species. Kindness not only feels good, but, you know, it has health benefits, I'm told, as well. I certainly feel much healthier while I'm doing it. And as far as the kind of health of society goes, the kinder we are, the better the place it is to live.
I completely agree with
Amazing.
you, 100%. David Goodfellow, for you and your other Goodfellows, we thank you.
Can I just say very quickly that if anyone wants to see what we're up to or come and join us, we've got a website, thekindnessoffensive.com. We're at the top of Google. Feel free, anyone wants to come along, help give out some stuff to some people and make people smile, everybody's welcome.
And I like the video you produced as well, the YouTube video. That's up there as well on your homepage, isn't it?
That's actually the Everyday Kindness Awards that we just finished doing with ING. So, yeah, have a look, and you can see how much fun we're having. It really was a hoot. So, it's come along, people. Have some fun, and also just do your own thing. Find someone today at work or on your way to work and do something cool. Let them in front of you at the cash point, maybe buy someone shopping. Do it because it feels really good. Start off maybe with a small thing and build your way up because, you'll feel good about yourself and people will like you and you'll get a good buzz out your day from doing it.
And they're going to feel really good as well. David,
absolutely.
Thank you so much and carry on the good work.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, we've been asking people all morning about their random acts of kindness after hearing from David Goodfellow there.
Delightful.
Now, we have been talking about the kindness offensive, and we've got Benny Crane on the phone. Benny, good morning. You're a member of the kindness offensive, is that right?
That's true, yeah. I'm one of a couple of mates we got together about a year ago now. And, and started the kindness offensive, sure.
Well, we spoke to David Goodfellow earlier. Could you give us an idea of the other sort of things that you do? Because he was telling us about sort of how it started in the hampers at Christmas and things. Could you tell us some of the other things you do?
Sure. Well, about a year ago, the first thing we did was go out onto Parliament Hill on Hampstead Heath and sort of set out a stool, a table, for our silly outfits, and just approach people and asked what we could do for them. And gave them a kindness form, and they filled it out. And then at the end of the day, we went home and saw what we could do. And there was a couple, I think some of my favourite were from that day. One in particular, a mother was carrying her child up the hill, and apparently he'd been pestering her the whole way up, saying how much he wanted a red electric guitar. And she'd given him lots of conditions. He had to pass his classical examinations and whatever. And he got to the top of the hill, and there we were asking what he wanted. And it was just a huge pleasure to be able to say, sure, we'll get you a red electric guitar. And in the end, we ended up getting two. Yamaha gave us one, and we ended up with another one. And that had a story all of its own. We put an ad on Gumtree asking if anyone wanted a guitar. And someone applied, a guy called, a mother of a boy named Lucas. And we ended up taking his guitar to his college radio or a school radio project in the summer. And so it was great, and he's now become part of the whole offensive, and he comes along to meetings.
Oh, how wonderful. Actually, that's interesting because we've had texts, and also the lovely lady you just heard on the telephone, she wanted to know how she could get involved. Now, people want to join. Can we come along and just join you as the kindness offensive? Are you growing in numbers, or do we just have to do our own thing?
Well, I think both, but absolutely that's our motto, join the kindness offensive, anyone's welcome. You just look up the kindness offensive on Google, that'll be the first thing that comes up, and send us an email. We've always got events coming up, and everyone's welcome.
Now, very interesting. We've had a text here that says, I don't like the idea of people boasting about their acts of kindness. I perform them all the time, but I'm not comfortable going on about it, she says. This is Nikki in Loughton. I think it's good enough that people do it. I'd far rather hear about acts of kindness people have experienced from others. And I think you are the group who seems to be giving people these experiences.
Sure. It's a fine balance, isn't it? You don't want to come across too worthy, but you don't want to stop yourself from having the fun of doing these acts. So I think people find their own ways. This is just the way we found we have the most fun doing them, so,
And now in America, there's a thing we've been talking about called Pass It On, and we now do it over here. And there has been a film about it with Kevin Spacey about passing it on and passing goodness on. So if somebody buys you a cup of coffee, then in maybe the next day or a week or a month, you then buy somebody else a cup of coffee, or it could be whatever. But you're passing it on. Do you think that's an important thing? Would you like to think that what you're doing to that person with the guitar or the hamper, then they're passing on goodness and kindness?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the main aims. It's addictive, and infectious, and very much hope that people see it and go off and do their own thing.
Benny, do you do this in your own personal life away from the offensive? Are you doing it? Do you carry this over into your everyday work and so on?
Yeah, I try to. I think you can get fun from it at any point. I think it's a much underrated pastime. It's a selfish thing. It is genuinely fun. It's not it's not just a worthy cause. There's no ulterior motive other than it's fun. So yeah, it does.
Do you all do this full time?
No, this is a hobby. This begun to take that we've spent a lot of time on. But no, we have day jobs, and
That would be great if you did it full time, though. What do you do for a living? I'm kind.
I'm kind.
That's what I do. I'm a kind person. Put that on your forms. Benny,
that's the dream.
Nice to talk to you. Give us the website again.
It's thekindnessoffensive.com, but if you type it into Google, it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Brilliant. Thank you. Good luck to you and your colleagues on The Kindness Offensive with the work you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.